What's up? What's up? What's up, people? How are you guys doing? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, Give me a hello. Okay. No, you can't hear me? Okay. Somebody can hear me. Somebody can't hear me. Make up your minds. Can you hear me or not? Yes? No? Hello, hello. Mic testing. One, two, three. You can. Okay. You can. All right. All right. Some confusion there. How are you guys doing? It is Saturday night. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm doing a live after a few months. So good to see you guys. New look, as you can see. You know, so the old me with all the hair and everything is gone. So super low maintenance. Before for a live I would have to like do my hair and ponytail and all that kind of thing. Now I just like wash my face and then sit in front of you guys. So it's awesome. So hope you guys are doing well. Who's here? Niku is live. Prathamesh, Anshul, Rajesh, Avi, Sheikh, Connor, Prathamesh, Arnav, Spartan in the house. Sana, Siddhant, Ayush. Let me know where you guys are from. Okay, let me know which city you guys are from. Tell me about that. I really enjoy knowing about Abhinay, another Spartan in the house. I enjoy knowing where you guys are from. Let me know which cities you're from. It's so great to see you guys here. This is going to be awesome. Today is going to be a very, very intensive session because I have a lot to share with you. There's a very, very special announcement that's going to happen tonight. This is something that I have been wanting to do for a long time, and that announcement is going to be tonight. So, make sure you stay till absolutely the other end. And what's going to happen is that after this event there's going to be an after party, and I'm going to be there chatting with you guys. So lots and lots happening tonight. To let us get started. All right, so people from Pune, Patna, Chhattisgarh, Kota, from Delhi, Varanasi, Andhra Pradesh. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Lots of people from Varanasi. Or Aditya is from Varanasi. Manish is from Shimla. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. All right, people, let us get started. So, what is today all about? What is Gamer to Maker Nation all about? You guys are gonna find out soon enough. So, tonight is about helping you guys find the fastest path to game development. The reason that you guys are over here is because you guys want to become professional game developers, right? You guys want to make video games, you want to make it for a living. You guys are at several stages, you have several backgrounds, you're from different parts of the country, you want to do different things, but you guys have found out about me. Some of you follow me from Instagram, some of you follow me from YouTube, social media, etc. But the one thing common to all of you is that you guys want to make video games for a living. And tonight is about that, right? Tonight is about finding your path it's about solving your problem. It's about getting in there, because at the end of the day, guys, all of us complain. We keep saying, oh sir, why aren't there good games coming out from India? Why don't we have a GTA in India? Why don't we have Red Dead Redemption in India? Why don't we make those kind of games? And it is because of lack of skills. There aren't enough people in the game industry. The game industry is absolutely exploding right now, especially in India. The growth in the game industry is off the charts, right? There's huge demand, but the problem is there aren't enough people. The weird thing is, like, you guys want to make video games and there's a huge shortage, right? So how come you're not able to get in? Is because of some problem. We're going to discuss those problems, and tonight we are going to start solving those problems for you guys, right? So let me start sharing my screen. Give me a second, please. All right. Give me 1 second. Okay. I think we are here now. Can you guys see my screen? Yes. Awesome. Yeah, I can see my screen. So, all right, let's do this. So, people, hello, hello, hello. What is Rahul Sehgal? Who is Rahul Sehgal? What does he want to do? My goal with Gamer to Maker is to enable 5,000 people in my lifetime. This is my goal. This is what I want to do with my life. I want to make 5,000 enable 5,000 people to become high quality game dev professionals, right? And I don't just mean people who make random games. I want you guys to be among the best in the world. I want you to be good. I want you to be professional. I want you to be as good as anybody out there. That is the only way we're going to make those kind of games in India. That's the only way that the game industry in India is really going to progress, is if you are in there and if you are good. This is my goal. All right. All right. So let's get started. Let's talk about something very, very important, which is salaries, because there's a lot of doubt, right? A lot of people are not sure about making games. Sir, I don't know if I should make games. Is it a good career? How much salary can I get? Is it a good job? My parents are saying become a software engineer. So now I'm going to share observations with you. Right now, Gamer to Maker has been around for 1 year. Many people from Gamer to Maker have actually made it into the game industry. Not only that, my passion is to actually help people to get in. So what I do a lot, people contact me on Discord and they're like, sir, I'm going for this interview, help me out. I'm doing this test, and I talk to them, I help them out. So and they share their experience, they share their salary. So these are entry level salaries that I have personally seen in the last 3 months. Okay, not even 6 months, not even a year. I have seen these salaries being given out to people in the last 3 months at an entry level. That means first job. These are people who are straight out of college, or maybe they're straight out of college, they've done a little bit of internship here and there, and then they've gotten jobs. These are the salaries. Game designer, 10.5 lakh rupees per year, right? This is an actual salary that people are getting. More than one person has gotten this salary in the last 3 months. Game designers are rocking it, guys. If there is ever a time to be a game designer, especially in India, this is that time. It's going to be going on for the next few years. There is massive demand. My friends from the game industry are calling me and pinging me and saying, Rahul, please give us some game designers, right? The good game designers from Gamer to Maker are flying off the shelves like hotcakes, right? So game designers are really, really rocking it. Game artists are also doing really, really well. 7.8 lakh rupees is an entry level salary, guys. Entry level salary for a game artist, right? But once again, I'm not saying that everybody's going to get this. I'm not saying that if you call yourself a game artist, you're going to get 7.8, or if you call yourself a game designer, you're going to get 10.5 lakh rupees. No, you have to be good. And I will tell you what the requirement is to get this kind of salary. Okay. Yes, Abhinay, these are entry level salaries. Entry level salaries. The game industry is really, really hot right now. Okay. Next, let's talk about game programmers. Let's not forget game programmers. This is 8.5 lakhs per year. Now, I've actually seen higher salaries than this at entry level, but I'm putting a conservative estimate right now. Okay. There was actually an environment artist with like 9 months experience who got hired for 14.5 lakh rupees very recently. But like, I'm not putting those outlier cases out there. I'm giving you kind of some decent figures. This is doable, people. This is doable. If you are good, if you are decent, if you're more than decent, if you're good, you can get this. This is happening right now. Okay, so now that you know about the money, let us move on. Now, I know a lot of you are stuck, because I know I have Instagram, and like, the crazy thing is that many of you send me messages, right? You write on my YouTube, you send me DMs direct in Instagram, and I see your messages. I see every single one of them. But unfortunately, the answers are very, very, very long. Okay. Now, the reason that you guys are stuck, there are several reasons, right? The one of the most important reasons is that the game industry is not like any other industry. It's not like the software industry, right? If you go on Quora, if you go here and there, people keep comparing the game industry to the software industry, but it is nothing like the software industry. Okay, technically, games are a kind of software. So, in that way, yes, I could say the game industry is a kind of software industry, but the way the game industry works is very, very, very different from the software industry. And if you're going to get advice from the software industry, you're going to be in trouble because the game industry is a very, very particular industry, and you need to understand the game industry. And if you don't understand how the game industry works, is going to be very, very difficult for you to actually break in because you're not understanding the game industry. Okay, next up, people, this is Houston, Sriharikota. We have a problem. Game education situation is bad, very, very bad. And it's very, very bad in India, but to be honest, it's bad all over the world. Okay, there are actually people in Gamer2maker. I have people, I have international students. I have someone from South America in my game. I have someone from abroad. I have people who are joining Game to Make Up because in their countries they don't have good game education. So game education, I think the only place where there is good gaming education is actually the US and in Canada, and even there it is very, 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 very expensive. Most people cannot afford to pay 40, $50,000 for a game education. So game education is something which, firstly, in India, it doesn't exist. There are so many scam colleges. There are so many scam institutes that will take 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakh rupees from you. And then they will just like give you Unity and say, okay, fine, make a game. Like I know people who come to me and say, sir, I knew more than my instructor. I lost 5 lakh rupees. Like this game education situation in India is very, very bad. I know because I used to teach at game colleges for many, many years. Okay. Next up, there's no guidance about game careers. Like, who do you go to? Do you go to your career counselor? Who do you ask about game careers? Right? There is no one who is actually willing to help you out or give you information about the game industry. Right? It's just like a black hole. I see you guys and I feel so bad because you guys I see so much passion in you. I see you sending messages on Instagram. I see you posting on different influencers, um, commenting on the YouTube videos, and I feel so bad because among you guys are the future. You guys are the future. The game designers, the lead designers, the lead developers, the lead artists, the creative directors, the studio owners. They are you. You are them. They are among the people who are listening to me right now, but you're stuck. You're stuck because of these situations, and I really feel you, right? And of course, there's so much misinformation. Okay, people come to me saying, sir, on Quora they say this, you can't get salary as game designer, the game industry is very bad. Quora is, I don't like what the deal with Quora, because you get really, really bad advice on Quora about game development. Okay, so there's lots of misinformation about the game industry out there, right? This is also one of the things that are problematic, right? Next up, poor reputation of game dev with Indian parents. Indian parents don't like game development. Let me know in the chat if this is your experience, right? Indian parents are always talking about how you should be going into a software career and there is no future for game development, yada 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 yada, that kind of thing. So okay, it's very, very difficult to convince people, especially the older generation, that game development, game industry is actually a very, very valid and a very, very strong career these days. Okay. Next up, there is no career counseling, right? If you go to a college or if you go to somewhere and say, okay, if you want to become a doctor, you have career counselors. If you have, if you're an engineer, if you want to be an IAS officer, there are people, or even if you want to be a therapist or a psychotherapist, psychologist, you will find career counseling. They tell you, this is what you're supposed to do, that's what you're supposed to do, this is your path, these are the salaries, the careers. No such thing. Now, most of you guys are stuck because of these factors, and I've made it my job to make sure that I make you guys unstuck. Now, so today, guys, this is going to be very interesting because today a portal is opening to help you to get through all of this. Okay. um and what's going to happen is that during this live you're going to find out about this, so make sure you hang on to your seats and do not go anywhere. Okay. Now let's start talking about the common mistakes that I see people making. And yes, people make a lot of mistakes, right? I've made mistakes. It's not that I've never made mistakes. I have made many mistakes in my career, but a mentor's job is to make sure that your proteges do not make these mistakes. And I'm going to put the mistakes that I have made myself and the mistakes that I have seen people make. Let me put those out there. Okay. Firstly, and this is big, opportunity calculations, right? A lot of people are doing kind of like a weightage of what is a good career choice. Is software industry better? What are the salaries? What are the opportunities? The whole thing is like a calculation. So they say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this entrance examination, I'm going to enter this college, and then depending on the reputation of the college, I'm going to do 3 years, and then I'm going to get placed in this company because this college is better and this course is better. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the best opportunity, and I'm going to make use of the best opportunity by using my education and get in there, and then I'm going to get a good starting salary, and then I'm going to progress in my career. Right? Now, the game industry doesn't care about your calculations. If you're going to treat the game industry as a calculated opportunity where you can just join some course and do get a certificate and get a graduation, and on the basis of your certificate you're going to get into a really high starting salary with XYZ company, then, my dear friends, you have a problem. Okay. Don't make opportunity calculations when thinking about your game career, right? The biggest mistake I see people is when they talk about backup plan. Sir, what happens if I have a backup plan in case my game dev career or my game dev thing doesn't work out? Right? What do I do? What should be my backup plan? And if you have this attitude, if you're thinking of backup plans, you've already failed, right? There is no plan B. There is no plan B. If you want to make video games, just do it. Don't calculate. Just make video games. If you want to be a game designer, put everything to the side and say, I'm going to be a game designer. If you want to be a game programmer, be a game programmer. If you want to be a pixel artist, be a pixel artist. Just do it. Right? Because see, this game development skills are not easy to pick up. Right? You must have already seen that. So there is a difficulty curve to it. Right? If you have a backup, you're going to keep giving up. You're going to be, oh, this is too hard. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, let me try something else. Let me join the software industry. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me join my, father's business or whatever it is. Don't think like that. If you want to, and I'm going to kind of use a phrase here, khunnas. You have to go after it. If you love video games, if you want to have a video game career, you have to have single pointed determination and focus and say, I'm going to do it. Right? Either I will die or this will die. Like it has to be a do or die approach. And if you have that approach, you put all your focus, all your time, your effort into it. If you work hard, you will succeed, guys. Today, I'm going to share my story with you. It's pretty insane as to who I was and what I did. The fact that I've gotten here, right? Some of you guys are probably much smarter than me, much more harder working than me. You can do it. Okay, so don't make calculations, don't have a backup plan, don't think, what if I do that, what if I do this? No, just make games, and that's it. Okay, next common mistake I see is expectations. So a lot of you a lot of you want to work on video games which you play, right? You want to be like, I want to work with BioWare, I want to work with this company, I want to work with that company. I play Assassin's Creed, so I want to work in like Ubisoft Toronto, etc., etc., etc. But the reality might be very, very different from what you expect, right? Now, it does not mean that you cannot have dreams. Okay, it does not mean that you can't be like, I want to work on AAA games, I want to work in the US, I want to make big, beautiful games. Don't let go of your expectations, but just understand that what you want to do is probably going to take time. There's going to be a difficulty curve, there's going to be a learning curve. If you keep your focus, you can do it, right? I promise you, you can do it. You can work on whatever games you want. You can work in AAA, you can work in multiplayer, you can do whatever you want. However, you may not get there in the beginning. You may have to work on different kind of games. Ludo King is literally the most successful game in India right now. One of the most successful games, right? These guys are making tons and tons of money. So most that, like, if you're going to get in the game industry, there's a good chance that you may be kind of like, you may get a job offer from these guys who make Ludo King, and it's going to be a great offer. You're going to get an amazing salary, but it's not going to be working on AAA titles, right? So if you stay too focused on trying to make the games that you play, you will probably be disappointed. So just be aware of that. Okay. Remember, you may have to start by making games that you don't really play. You have to find the fun. This is something I teach in Gamer2maker, right? Next common mistake is that most of you, for some reason, think that the best way to learn game dev from end to end is from tutorials. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong, the internet is amazing. It's a fantastic place, right? It's a great place to get started. Everything is available for free. Like, you can pay like $2.99, $3.99 and buy a course on Udemy. There is so much information out there. The problem is there is way too much information out there, and there are so many people who just get stuck in tutorial loops. The problem with tutorials is that you're looking at a tutorial and you're reproducing it immediately, right? And while you're kind of you're copying that code, you're doing whatever they're doing on the screen, you're basically essentially copying what they're doing. But when you have to make things for yourself, when you have to apply yourself, make something from scratch, make something new, you're not able to do it, right? This is why what happens is that people who have learned from tutorials, they send me the portfolio and all their games are the same. Because if you have access to free tutorials, the person next to you also has access to free tutorials, and they're making the same thing. There's no difference between you and somebody else who's making the same kind of games, right? From the same tutorial. So all the portfolios of most of the young people I see these days who use tutorials look exactly the same, because they're mostly solo projects which are made from game tutorials and they don't stand out. And game studios are fed up of seeing that. They don't want to see that, right? You're not going to get a job if you have like one Flappy Bird clone, one Space Invaders clone, and one generic free runner, right? Like, people are going to be like, no, sorry, next. Right now, okay. Okay, this is a big one. Solo game dev. A lot of people still have the illusion that they're gonna set up a game studio all by themselves, sit in their room, make video games, and then they're gonna make a living doing that, like a reliable living. They're gonna have family and everything as solo developers, and that may happen one in a million times, but the chances of that are happening to you are very, 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 very less, because there is a huge survivor bias. People who fail, their stories don't come out. It's like 0.0001% of people succeed here. Now, if someone told you that you're going to be doing something in your career path has a 0.05% chance of succeeding, would you do that? Would you still be a solo dev if you knew the statistics that there is a 99.5% chance that you're going to fail? Would you still do a career? If somebody said, hey, listen, man, go that way, there's a 99.5% chance that you're going to die, would you still do it? You wouldn't, because you're like, dude, that's crazy. So, okay, so I'm not saying that solo game dev is a bad thing, right? In the beginning, we are all solo game devs. Okay, in the beginning, we've all started to uh, download Unity and start messing around with Unity, start making games our own. That's great. It's an amazing place to start. It's the best way to start. However, be aware that that's a start, right? Games are essentially made in teams. They're made by groups of people. It doesn't matter what you saw in some movie about one guy in a million. Games are made by teams. Games are made in groups. Game making is a team activity, right? Also, if I'm hiring someone, I'm going to be like, hey, have you never worked in a team? Do you not like working with people? It's actually a problem if you have too many solo projects. So you do need to work in group projects. Okay. Now, what I'm going to be talking about now is I'm going to be talking about some best practices to follow if you want to succeed in becoming a pro game maker. Now, these are some of you may have seen some of these slides before, but I'm going to be discussing these in great depth now. Okay. The acronym that I have made myself, which will be easy for you to remember, is SNAP. SNAP. These are the 4 steps or the 4 best practices to follow for becoming a game maker. And these are firstly skills. You have to build the specific skills you need to do the game dev role you want. It means that if you want to get a job as a game designer, recently someone from the Gamer2maker program, few people from the Gamer2maker program have been doing interviews for game companies, and I've been helping them to actually helping them with their tests. Now, making mock-ups, for example, is a really, really important skill when it comes to making video games, right? Now, if you make good mock-ups, if you make good design documents, you have skills for a game designer. So just because you play video games, you don't become a game designer. If you want to be a game designer, you have to build specific skills, which can be writing a good game design document, making good presentations, talking to people, building a communication skills, building good mockups. These are the skills you need. If you want to be a game programmer, if you want to be a Unity programmer, you have to be able to write clean code, modular code, code that is commented, code that people can understand, code that is not spaghetti code, that works well, right? You have to have these specific skills. If you just watch a bunch of videos and you put it all there, you're not going to be able to build those skills, right? If you want to be an artist, you have to be able to make something from scratch, make a concept. From that concept, go to production art, be able to color it in, be able to make iterations, right? Use Unity, use Unreal specific to yourself. So there are some skills that you need to build which are specific to the role you want, right? Now, you can start with these skills on the internet, but ultimately these skills are actually built by someone else teaching you, right? Usually a mentor. What happens, you get an entry level job and then you have a mentor over there who actually helps you out, teach you specific skills, and then your skill level increases because it's specific to you. You have one on one, you have someone taking care of your needs and teaching you specifically, right? In India, we have the Guru Shishya system, which is kind of like what this is. You mostly, the best way to learn something is from a person and not from a generic tutorial from the internet. You can learn, and there are some people who succeed, but by and large, it's much, much faster and much more efficient to learn it from someone else, right? Network. This is huge, guys. This is huge. I can't even tell you. Like, I remember some of you may see on Instagram. There is, one of the people I'm consulting for is working in a Roblox studio. Right now, this person reached out to me, and I got people from my Discord server, from my Instagram, from Gamer2maker hired. This was through network. They would never have found this person, and the salaries there are insane. They're like 10, 15, 20 lakh rupees joining salaries. And these people only got these salaries because of network. In my team and my job, whenever I want to hire someone, the last thing we do is ask HR. We reach out, we say, hey, do you have any batchmates? Do you have any friends? Do you have any former colleagues who you know? Do you have any references? And then everyone comes with resume. This, yeah, there's this guy. He was from college. I know him. He's a good artist. He's a good programmer. He's a good designer, whatever. So 70% of the time, your jobs are going to be found through somebody else and not through like LinkedIn or some kind of job portal or whatever. Okay, 70%, and all the high paying jobs, they go through network. Right now, network is something which is kind of hard to build because you guys are outside of the game industry right now. You are still outside of the game industry right now, and for you it's difficult to start building a network because you are like, okay, where do I start? How do I start building a network? I personally, my network started when I was at game school, right? And the amazing thing is that in Gamer2maker, right now we have 100 people. And one of the biggest values that people get from Gamer2maker is actually the network. They're making friends, they're making teammates. These are people who are going to be working together, who are going to be in the same game industry for the rest of their life. So, a game course is an amazing place to start building your network. A game college, a game course, or like college, for example, right? If you've been to college, if you've been to school, you're going to be friends with those people for the rest of your life. But when it comes to the game industry, if you're in a course together, you know that person's professionalism, right? You can refer that person. So it's a great place to get started. Okay. All right. Avatar. Now, this is also very, very important. What exactly does avatar mean? Avatar means who you are. Who you are. Like, I know a lot of people, and I see you guys on Instagram. You have this like wacky handles, emo boy, like, you have anime, kind of like these edgy pictures. You have very, very kind of, some people have some really, really crazy edgy names on social media. Now, that's okay when you're in school. Okay, but once you're out of school, once you're in college, you're finishing college, you're actually preparing to get into the world of professionals. So at that point, I advise my students in Gamer2maker to start kind of like toning down their profiles to make them more job friendly. And it's not just that, right? Your avatar is your online personality. If you're too edgy, if you're like this person, although fighting with people or posting these dank memes, then that might actually affect your employability. It probably will, in fact, because everybody is on social media right now, and somebody from HR goes and they see this kind of stuff you've been posting on Instagram or social media, your chances of getting hired are going to go down. You need a good profile picture. You need a good LinkedIn bio, right? Somebody has like to teach you how to do that stuff. It's not easy to understand how to have the right resume, how to have the right bio, how to have the right profile, what to write in your LinkedIn, what to write in your resume, how to show yourself to the world, how to present yourself to the world, how to talk, presentation skills, all that stuff is really important. Who you are, what you look like, how the world perceives you is very, very important, right? If you come across as unprofessional, your chances of getting a job or whatever are much lower. If you come across as someone who's employable, somebody who's dependable, somebody who's professional, your value is going to go up a lot, right? Lastly, portfolio. I've been talking about this a lot. Portfolio is very, very, very important. Now, there are actually some people who manage to get jobs without that great a portfolio, right? And some of them get lucky. But what happens is that long term, a portfolio is like an investment. Okay. Do tattoos? No, dude, I've got a tattoo here. I've got a tattoo here. Unless you have tattoos on your face and your head, right? Or if you have some crazy kind of tattoo, that's different. But you can have tattoos, it's okay, as long as they're not too crazy. I have a tattoo myself. I'm planning to get some more in the future. So talking about portfolios, now you need to have a portfolio, right? And a portfolio is not something you can just build overnight. It's not that you just it's not just that you're gonna start today. And one second, do I have internet issues? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so portfolio, if you have a good portfolio, you're going to rock it. You have to start investing in your portfolio early. It's not going to happen overnight. Sometimes it takes months, it takes years to build a good portfolio. So don't be like, I'm going to start off now and I'm going to build my portfolio in a week. That's not the way portfolios work. A portfolio is something that takes you one, two, three, four, five different versions to do, right? It's very, very, very important. And don't think that it's something that you're going to start building a month before you're looking for a job. Okay, you need to start working on your portfolio now. In Gamer to Maker, portfolio is something which is really we take very, very seriously. And we make sure that when people leave Game to Maker, they have a game in their portfolio. The most important thing in the game industry is to actually show people that you know how to make video games, which is why Game to Maker is all about the game project, right? And if you have a strong portfolio, well presented with a game project, that really, really, really increases your chance of getting a job. Okay, right. Next, you have to build your own algorithm. Now, what do I mean by algorithm? Now, you guys are all different. Probably among you guys, you have all of these profiles, right? Some of you are school students, some of you are college students, some of you are working professionals, and then some of you are from other backgrounds, right? Just um, let me know in the chat which one of these you are, right? So what exactly is an algorithm? An algorithm is a path that you are going to be taking on your way to success, right? So if you're one of all these things, you have to be doing skill building, you have to be doing network building, you have to build your portfolio, and you have to create your avatar, right? Now all of these are things that you're going to have to do in order to reach that point. So from the left side, you have to go to the right side, right? Start from the left, end up on the right. And in that, you have to do all of these things. Now, it's possible that even if you don't have a network, it's possible that if you have some decent skills, you have a little bit of a portfolio, you get a job for the first time. But remember, that if you want a long, strong career, if you guys want to break into the game industry and you want to get those like 30, 40, 50 lakh a year jobs after 5 or 10 years of experience, if you want to reach that level, you have to have all four of these, right? You have to have strong skills, you have to keep building your skills, you have to have a good network, you have to have a good portfolio. And a portfolio is not something that you just make once and throw away. A portfolio is like an investment that you have to keep working on, right? And your avatar, your profile, who you are, you have to keep working on these things, right? So essentially, now, this is great in theory, but what you're going to be thinking is, how do I go from one point to the other? You see these arrows? These arrows are the problem, right? Going Building your skills is very easy in theory to say, okay, build your skills, but how do you do that? Which skill are you going to build? Are you going to learn Unreal? Are you going to learn Unity? if you're going to learn Unity, how are you going to learn programming patterns, right? If you're going to learn game design, how are you going to learn how to write a good document? How are you going to learn how to make a good presentation? How are you going to learn how to have an icebreaker? How are you going to learn how to make good mock-ups and communicate with those people? These are skills. These are soft skills. These are hard skills, and they have to be built, right? So the arrows are the problem, and the arrows are where my intention is to help you, right? One thing is to tell you that this is what you need to do, and then okay, now you go and do it yourself. But most people struggle at that, right? Just looking at a diagram is not going to solve your problem. Understanding what to do first, how to do it, what's your first step, how are you going to reach that step, that's the problem, right? And is something that I this is a problem that I want to solve for you guys. Okay. So you have to build your own path, where you are coming from, where you're going, which one you do first, skill building, network building, avatar creation, portfolio building. You have to do all of these in what priority you give, what you do first. For that, a mentor can be really, really helpful. Okay. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about my journey. A lot of you people have been asking me, Rahul, tell us your story, what happened? And I'm going to finally share my story in some detail now. Okay. So as you can see on the left, this is me. I actually, like, I'm more similar to that now because I've cut my hair, except that like my hair is black there and it's mostly gray hair now, but that is me. Okay. And that is me in the merchant navy. So I joined the merchant navy when I was like 18 years old. Because I wanted to see the world, I wanted to travel, and that's what I did. So I was a merchant navy officer for 14 years. Okay, for 14 years. That's just something I did. So that's me then, and this is me now, or at least a year or two ago at IGDC giving a talk. So now I'm going to tell you about how I went from point A to point B. Right. So I joined the merchant navy when I was 18 years old. I traveled the world, man. I had money. Like at that time, when I was 18, I was earning like $300 $400. Okay. And at that time of 373 or $388 was an insane amount of money. Okay. I was traveling the world. This is on the right side. That's me in South Korea. Someday I would be in South Korea, Singapore. I used to be in the UK, in the US, in Europe, Australia, like traveling all over the world. And of course, it was hard work to be working on a ship. But that was my life. And I enjoyed my life in the beginning because I was a cadet. I didn't have so much responsibility. And then after 10 years, now you can see me here. Now, this is me as a senior officer. So, what happens is that obviously your responsibility increases. You can't really go out ashore. And this is around 10 years into my job in the merchant navy. I started to get miserable. I was like, okay, this is not what I want to do with my life. The money was great. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It's you make like 6,000, $7,000 a month tax free in the merchant navy. So the salary was really, really great. Okay, that was not the problem. The problem was that I didn't feel happy. I was unfulfilled. Now, this is very important to understand because for a lot of you, you may be making good money somewhere else, but you can still be miserable, right? Making money is not the only thing out of life. And I've learned that the hard way. You need to be comfortable, but it's really important that you like what you do. Okay. You like what you do. And it took me about 4 to 5 years to realize what I wanted to do. I didn't decide that I wanted to be a game maker. It took me 4 years, 5 years to think about it. And then one day it's finally hit me. Like the when I thought game designer, I just in my mind I knew that was it. Right. So I went from merchant navy officer to game designer. But how did I do that? Now there were several things that I could have done. right? I could have tried doing something on my own, tried doing something from the side, but I decided that I was going to really, really invest, right? I was going to invest. I'm a big believer in education, I'm a big believer in mentorship. And straight off the bat, I went straight from the Merchant Navy. I took admission at Vancouver Film School, which was an amazing choice. Now, Vancouver Film School has a 1 year game design program. It's a very expensive program. It costs like, I mean, it was like $50,000 at that time. I don't even know how much it's going to be, but it was an amazing program. And in 1 year, I learned so much. I learned so much. That 1 year at Vancouver Film School, it changed my life. And the my course, what I teach at Gamer2maker, I have learned from the VFS, and I've actually built on it. So I I've been lucky enough that I've actually seen what a world class game education looks like. I've been there. I've attended the college. So I'm aware of what game education is like the West. And the Gamer to Maker course is fundamentally, in many, many ways, built strongly upon the course at Vancouver Film School. On the left side, you can see me and my friends, my batchmates. We are at a mocap studio. So they actually practically take you to a motion capture studio and they actually show you the entire process. On the right is me and my buddies. They actually have a sword fighting session. It's crazy. So you have this person who comes in, who's actually a sword fighter, a professional fighter, and then they actually teach you, because when it comes to animation, etc., you're gonna be doing that stuff. But like I said, this is $50,000, okay, and that's an insane amount of money to be paying to go somewhere, okay. And of course, the core of the program at Vancouver Film School was the game project, right? And that's the one thing I learned, that the only way to learn how to make video games. What is the only way how to learn video games? Spartans, who wants to put that in the chat while I have this glass of sip of water? Yes, Chetana, the only way to learn. There you see my Spartans. There you go. There you go. Can you see in the chat? These are all the Spartans. That's it. The only way to learn how to make video games is to actually make them. Right? So this is me. I was level designer. I did the environment art for this game. And it was awesome. I learned so much. I learned so much at VFS, and it was through actually making a game project. Right now, let's talk about working and studying abroad. It is amazing. Okay, like, I'm not gonna lie, those few years I spent in Canada, I spent in VFS, what were amazing. Learning there, being part of a course there, being part of a game studio there, was one of the most amazing experiences of my life, because remember that those guys are 30, 40 years ahead of us, right? The game industry in India is like comparatively in the stone ages. Those guys are very, very good. They've been making them 30, 40, 50 years, right? So we got to learn from them. And if you have a chance to work abroad or study abroad, my God, you got to take it. It's amazing. It's a fantastic experience. I learned so much about professionals, about game making, about the game making process in my time in Canada. Right on the left, we are at Stanley Park in Vancouver. This is my class having a water fight, and on the right is my class, graduation class at Vancouver Film School. Good times, right? So what happened? I finished Vancouver Film School, and then what happened? The crazy thing is that I was at VFS, and at that time, believe it or not, it was 2008, and who knows what happened in 2008? Who knows? It was the huge worldwide economic crisis. The stock market crashed. There was a huge problem, and jobs suddenly became really hard to get. However, at the end of my time in Vancouver Film School, I managed to get an internship at a company called Piranha Games. Now, Piranha Games is a company that they were making games for PC and console. So I got an internship there. It was a lot of competition I had to face, and that was my first break. So my first break in the game industry was in Piranha Games. I was actually a tester there. I was tested at Piranha Games, and it was amazing. Like, I talk about this to the Spartans all the time, G2M, and this was an amazing experience. And then that was in Canada, and then I came back to India and I started working at Gameloft because I need to relocate back to India for personal reasons, and I did that. And then I started working at Gameloft. Right now, that was hard. That was really hard because imagine you're a senior officer in the merchant navy. You have like a whole team. Um, you have like a whole team under you. You have like 20, 30 people under you, and then you're an intern at a game company, and like you're starting from scratch. Okay, so starting from scratch was hard because my salary went down in comparison. My status went down. Like, I was from going to a very senior role, I went back to like a very junior role. But the crazy thing is that I still enjoyed it. Now on the left, this is my class. I At the same time, I came to Hyderabad. This is actually, I think, 2011 or 2012. I started teaching at a game college in Hyderabad called Backstage Pass. Of course, I don't teach there anymore, but this is me there. And over here you can see right in the middle, um are some people who I still work with. So that's Harshini. So Harshini is actually, for the Spartans who are in the mentorship program, that's actually Harshini sitting in my class. And she works with me now, and she's one of the mentors. She's one of the art mentors for Gamer2maker. And somewhere in the middle, like right here, you can see is Anshul. Right now, Anshul is one of the best students I've ever had. He's brilliant. He's from Indore, and he's one of the best students. He went to the US. He actually interned at EA Hyderabad, and then he went to the US, and he went to Digipen. He did his masters, and after Digipen, he joined the game industry, and he's actually he's a senior programmer, Electronic Arts in Seattle. And I have a big surprise when it comes to this very, very soon. So hang on to your hats, okay? But I made it, guys. Like, I went through this difficult time, but it was worth it. Okay, so it's been 14 years, and now I'm in a position where I work for a company where I have my own course, and I have a company. They send me abroad. They send me for conferences. This is me. On the left side, I'm in London. I've gone for a game event which is sponsored by my company. In the middle is myself. That's Harshini once again. After 12 years, we're working together. She's in my team right now. And on the side is me, my family, my kids. I have 4 kids. I have, at this point, I have the freedom to like take them on vacations. I have comparatively the financial freedom that I'm able to take care of my family, live in a nice house, live in a nice place, have a nice car. Right? That's what you want, guys. That's what you want. You want to be able to do what you love, but you also want to be able to make a good living. Right? That's the goal. So, all right. So I was talking about Anshul, guys. This is happening tomorrow. Tomorrow. Exactly 24 hours later. Some of you may even have seen Anshul's. You may have seen Anshul video with me on YouTube. He is one of my favorite students. So tomorrow night, guys, Sunday night, 11th September at 10 p.m. Anshul is going to be doing this. I'm going to tell you more about how you can be part of this really, really soon. Okay. Right. So now that I've talked about the stuff, I've talked about the best practices, I've talked about the mistakes, I've talked about how you can build your own game dev algorithm for success. Now I'm going to ask you, right? You guys are stuck. Now I see your messages. Okay, like if you can see my phone over here right now. The crazy thing is that, like, if I go to Instagram right now, my entire inbox, right? My entire inbox here is like full of messages, right? It has so many messages from you guys, and you're asking me questions, right? Similarly, right now, in the chat right now, you guys are asking me questions, and the truth is that, like, these questions have long answers. I can't just like type out an answer in about 7 words to you. Okay, this is These are long answers. And the most interesting thing is that I don't know your situation, so I can't give you advice. I need to give you advice specific to you, because your situation is different, who you are, where you're coming from is different. So the advice for each one of you, your path, your algorithm is going to be different from the next person in this chat. Okay, so you got, once again, you guys are asking me questions, and it's very difficult for me because of time pressure to actually give you these answers. Now, for people in the Gamer to Maker courses, I do this, right? But I do understand that not all of you may be able to afford these courses, right? So this is your goal. For all of you, this is your goal. You want to go from the left side, you want to go from the orange side, you want to go to the right side. I see a lot of people like talking about colleges and institutes, and I have a lot to say about like Mac and all these places. And I'll tell you how I can give you that advice. Anyway, you need to go from the left side to the right side, and you have to go through all these steps. You need to build your own game dev algorithm, and I'm willing to help you for this, right? So now is the moment when I'm going to be opening a portal. I'm going to be announcing something that I have been working for a long time, because I really want to help you guys. Okay, I have people in the Gamer to Make a course, but I've decided to open up a portal for you guys where I can help you. And this is called Gamer to Maker Nation. Now, Gamer to Maker Nation is something that I have been working on for the last, I would say, 2 years. I've been really, really thinking hard about how I can deliver value to you guys, and help you guys to achieve your goals. So, Gamer to Maker Nation is a portal, it is a community to help to accelerate your game career. Now, how exactly does Gamer to Maker Nation work? Gamer to Maker, fundamentally, what are you going to be doing here? Right? You're going to be building your own personal game career algorithm with my and the mentor's help. Right? This is something which is going to be delivered in English and Hindi. So there are a lot of you who are not comfortable with English, right? And you're going to be able to get guidance in Hindi as well, right? Now, one of the most important things is that there are going to be live Q&A sessions with game industry professionals. Now, this is really, really valuable, because you may have assumptions, you may have things that you think about the game industry, but if you're actually able to ask people from the game industry, they'll tell you the truth. Be able to give you the right guidance. So live Q&A with game industry professionals. These are going to be within Gamer to Make a Nation. These are going to be Zoom calls, in which they're going to be group calls, in which you'll be able to interact with people from the game industry. And I'm going to be giving you more details about the first session, which is actually tomorrow, right? They're going to be live group coaching calls. Now, this is very different from just like you randomly asking someone questions. These are going to be Zoom calls in which I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there in a Zoom call with you guys, right? And you will be able to ask me specific things. I will be able to actually give you a long and proper and specific answer to your question, right? It's not just going to be me. It could be me. It could be other mentors. It could be programming, art mentors, people within the Gamer to Maker account. We're going to bring in guests from the game industry to actually talk on specific topics, right? But understand there's going to be a group call, so there may be people whose questions are answered, and you understand your answer because you hear somebody else's answer, right? So these are going to be group coaching calls which are going to happen in Gamer to Make a Nation, and you will have access to all the sessions, right? So while you're in the program, if you miss a session, if there's a live session and you're not able to miss it, or if there is a recorded session, you will have access to all the recorded sessions and live sessions that happen uh, in this portal, right? Every week there is going to be a content. It could be live content, it could be recorded content, but once a week you're going to have content. There are going to be exclusive Discord channels in the Gamer to Make a server for Gamer to Make a Nation. So this is where you'll be able to interact, form a community, start building a network, and be answered by the mentors of the Gamer2maker program. This is where you'll get focused advice from people. And of course, network building, right? So network building is also going to be a big part of it, because I want you guys to be able to have a network. Without that, it's going to be very, very difficult, right? Now, what topics are going to be there in Gamer2maker Nation? Firstly, game industry roles and responsibilities, right? How do you know what roles are out there? There are many roles. What is the difference between an AI programmer and a gameplay programmer, right? What is the difference between a rigger and a modeler? What's the difference between an environment artist and a level designer? These are questions which you guys know. I'm going to give you all the details, guys. Don't worry about it. Just a couple of minutes, you're going to get all the details about this program in just a short while. You're going to learn about game industry roles and responsibilities, game industry orientation. So, what exactly is game industry? What is a product team? What is a game studio? What is a marketing team? How does a game studio work? How does a game industry work? How is the recruitment working? And you're going to understand about how from the inside the game industry works, right? You're going to understand the process of making games. What is alpha? What is beta? What is gold? What is pre-production? What is production? What is a game product pipeline? You're going to be learning about these, because if you want a job in the game industry, if you're going to be going for an interview, if you don't understand the development process, it's going to be really hard for you to crack that interview. So you'll be learning about the game development process as well. If you're making your own game, I'm going to tell you the best practices to start making your own game project. If you're making it by yourself or in a team, you're going to learn the best practices about how you can make your own project. And you're also going to be learning something about entrepreneurship in games, how to get started if you want to be an entrepreneur, start your own game studio, etc. Right? And there's going to be definitely content on salaries, career opportunities, how much to expect, what role, starting salary after so many years. That stuff is also going to be there, and what career opportunities you have. Right. Next up, I'm going to show you how you can convince your parents for your game career. Like, I know this is a deal with a lot of people. And this is something that you're going to be learning as well, right? If you're interested in doing masters, if you're interested in doing graduation abroad, this is also a topic that's going to be covered, and especially when it comes to QA sessions. So in the QA sessions with the people, you'll be able to find out what they did right, etc. Okay. Next up, working in game dev abroad. Now, if you want to work in the game industry abroad, what is the best path for that? Game industry tests. All of you guys, if you want to join the game industry, you're going to have to do game industry tests, right? That's a standard in the game industry, whether you want to be an artist, designer, or programmer, right? Game industry tests are absolutely mandatory, and you guys have to do that. And you'll be getting content for the game industry test as well. Which game college you choose? A lot of you have questions about, should I go here? Should I go there? Should I go to VIT? Should I go to Backstage Pass? Should I do this? Should I do that? I'll be helping you to actually recommending a college for you. Portfolio guidance, how to build your portfolio. You'll be learning that as well. And personal branding. You will be learning how to brand yourself, how to make sure that you're putting your best fit. Remember, I talked about avatar. You're going to be learning this as well. Okay. Now, the first session for this, guys, is tomorrow. So within Gamer2maker, tomorrow, what's the time right now? 10 o'clock. Within 24 hours, we are having this session. This is the kickoff of Gamer2maker Nation. This is going to be Anshul Soni, and he's going to be studying and working as a game dev nation. Now, this is kind of like the kind of thing we are going to be having in Gamer2maker Nation. So you'll be able to be on the call with him. Anshul is going to tell you about his steps, his education, his story. He's from Indore. He did his graduation in India, and then he went abroad. He did his master's. He's a really good game programmer. He worked for several companies, and now he's doing really well. He's working in Seattle as a game programmer, right? So this is tomorrow. At 10 p.m. And I'm going to now tell you lots of questions. Is it paid? Is it paid? Is it paid? You're going to know right now. Yes, it is paid. Because Here's the thing, guys. Like, the one thing I've seen, and I've seen this even from Gamer to Maker Nation, from my Gamer to Maker courses, is that um, there's no value. Like, people don't have value for something which is free. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, this is something which is paid, but I have put it at a point where I know a lot of you are having difficulty, because you don't have supportive parents, or you don't have much of budget. You're a student, etc. So this is paid, but it is priced at 4,999 for 3 months, right? So I have this is actually worth a lot more. This is worth a lot more. I would say my first instinct for this program was to price it at like 10 15k, but then at that point I said that this is not something that a lot of people can afford, right? And so is this is something which gives value, which is, so what happens is that as a game maker, if you don't have the right guidance, what's going to happen is you're going to spend months and months and months doing things, being on the wrong path. You're going to be doing things for months and months, and you're going to be wasting a lot of opportunity cost. Right, you're going to be wasting opportunity cost. You're going to be doing things that you could be doing. You could be doing a job at that point. You can be earning money at that point. Okay, so this is it. It's valid for 3 months. It's a 3-month program, and you get guidance, you get content. It's a portal that is going to open up your window to the game industry. Okay, and next up, how do you enroll? Right, you can enroll straight over here. For people who have registered, you'll probably be getting a WhatsApp message with this link is available on the website. Okay, now this is something which is available right now. You can actually go and enroll right now, and if you enroll right now, this is going to be the first session tomorrow night. For people who are going to enroll today, I'm going to add them, and they're going to be able to see this tomorrow evening. And from there, basically tomorrow, Gamer to Maker Nation kicks off, right? And that's going to be the first session. So how to enroll Gamer to Maker? If you go straight there, there's G2M Nation. You can pretty much buy the course over there. Okay, now for those of you, I know a lot of you are interested in these programs as well, so I'm going to talk about them. uh, I'm opening up batches for all three of these, right? So some of you I know are interested in the game design. I have a lot of people on the waiting list for the game design and production course. So the game design and production course, the game programming mentorship, and the game on mentorship, they're all open right now. Enrollments are open for a limited time only. And also be aware that Gamer to Maker Nation is actually included as a bonus with all of these courses, right? So these courses, the batches are opening up right now. If you're on the waiting list, you must have already gotten a message. If you're not on the waiting list, just let me know. Ping me on Discord, ping me on Instagram, and I'll make this course available to you. There's a little bit of a screening process. I have an interview with you guys, and if you guys make the cut, there's no interview for Gamer to Maker Nation, but there will be an interview, a little bit of an interview. I want to know who you are before I accept you into the game art mentorship, game design and production course, and game programming mentorship. Okay, now the cool thing that's happening these days is that everybody is working together. The amazing thing that my plan was that the game project which is being made by the programmers, by the artists, and the designer together. It's amazing. We have 5 or 10 projects in production right now, and they're being made by all the people at Gamer2maker. It's amazing to see that. So once again, guys, these courses are open as well. Now, if you ask what is the difference between these, I'm going to talk to you. So basically what I'm going to do is, after this, I am going to be available on the Discord server of Gamer2maker. So you guys are most welcome to come to Discord. You guys are most welcome to come to Discord, hang out with me. After this, I'm just going to go grab myself a cup of coffee after this live, and you guys are most welcome to come and hang out and ask me questions about Gamer2maker Nation, ask me questions about the courses, and I'll be happy to answer all these questions. Okay. Yep. So, all right. So, what we're gonna do is that now I'm gonna see if. So, what I'll do is, okay. Let me stop sharing now. Okay. All right. So, I'm going to send you a link to Discord server for those of you. Uh, Here is the Discord server. Those of you who are not already on it, I've in the chat right now. I've put a link to the Discord Gamer2maker Discord server. Right here. The Discord link is right here. So come join the server in a short while after this call ends. I'm going to be there. So, however, now I'm going to see if I can answer a few questions. What time will be the sessions in Gamer2makers? These usually happen at night, right? These usually happen at 9 p.m. or later, because most people are free. I'm free. So the live session, the Q&A session, of course, it depends, right? Like now, if there's someone in a time zone, like Anshul is in the US, so he can only do the session at 10 o'clock because he has to be awake in the morning in Seattle. So tomorrow's session is at 10 o'clock. He's very kindly decided to wake up a little bit early on a Sunday just to do the session for us. So tomorrow it's at 10. Usually the sessions are either on weekends, they're like Saturday afternoon or Sunday night, right? Most of the times the sessions will be in the evening, right? So yeah, Abhijit. So rig dev, what prerequisite knowledge? This is for Gamer2maker Nation, zero, right? Absolutely zero prerequisite. Absolutely zero prerequisite for Gamer2maker Nation. This is something you can join at any time. It's valid for 3 months, and after 3 months, if you like it, you can renew your subscription. And that's pretty much the way it works in Gamer2maker Nation. Okay. Um, will there be any discounts? Game design mentor program in. About the discount, I'm going to let you know in the Discord server. There is a system. If you're in the Gamer2maker, if you're in Gamer2maker Nation, then you will get a discount in the main courses for Gamer2maker, which is game design, game programming, etc. Definitely you'll be getting that. Okay. All right, guys. So I guess that's all for today. So what I'm going to do is it's 10:13 right now. So come on, everybody, come on to Discord and let's hang out. Let's have a little bit of an after party for Gamer2maker Nation. And I will be. Where will I be? I'll be in the. I'll be in VC. Where is VC? Yeah, I'll be in the voice channel. I'll be in the voice channel just chatting. Okay. So I will see you guys there in about. Yes, there's going to be a recording of this. There is going to be there's definitely going to be a recording of this, but it's only going to be available for a short time. Okay. So thanks, guys. Thanks very much. Thank you for being here. I hope you got some value out of this. I hope you take something away from this, and I hope you guys succeed. I hope you guys do well. I see you on Instagram, on YouTube, on Discord, and after this, I will see you guys. Also remember, guys, 24 hours to go. 24 hours later is going to be kicking out the first session. So if those of you are interested, go and enroll in G2M Nation. I will see you guys. Thank you very much. Have a good night. See you soon on Discord. Let's go on over. In about 10 minutes, I'm going to get a cup of coffee and I'm going to be there. So have a good night. Bye, everyone.